Thank you for joining me on the travel segment. I'm Freedom Lemwa. The two most common things that happen during the December holidays is one, lots of traveling, and second, is the time when most people are most generous. One of the top travel trends of 2019, according to a report by World Tourism Organization, is that most travelers are traveling to change, live like a local in a quest for authenticity and transformation. It is in this line of thinking that some people choose to travel to volunteer, giving their time, skills, and energy to an issue or cause to help make a difference in communities around the world as part of their vacation package, which is popularly known as voluntourism. While there are those that travel for the sole purpose of volunteering and everything else is a bonus. Frederick Sadia, with over 20 years of volunteering and now part of the management of the volunteering fraternity in Kenya, said it is important to note the difference.
For me, volunteerism is not what I would qualify as volunteering. However, I know that it has the benefits. For example, when we have our friends coming over to visit our tourism sites, or so within the process, they always want to take some time and support a community project here, a community project there, which is good. But I also want to believe that this can be done in a much more better way, in a much more organized way. And gradually, again, we are realizing that some tour companies are organizing themselves in a way that when these tourists come, they want to also allow them to have time to volunteer. As a volunteer champion, I would clearly tell someone, if you want to come for holiday, if you want to come for safari, just specifically come and do your tour in whichever way you please, because we still welcome everyone who wants to come to our country. We still welcome everyone of our friends who are coming to our continent. But when you want to also make sure that you are contributing, then find a best way that would make an impact of your contribution. Find the best way that you can do it in a more sustainable manner.
The difference between traveling as a tourist and volunteer can be clear-cut sometimes, like the case of Faroe Island when it recently made headlines when it closed to tourists for maintenance but called for volunteers to help it rebuild. According to its website, volunteers from 95 countries worldwide, including Africans, are taking part in the restoration of the North Atlantic nation. 2018 State of the World's Volunteerism report by UN Volunteers says there are 12.1 million full-time volunteers in Africa. So does this mean that Africans are keen on volunteering?
Volunteering in Africa is ripe within the formal sector as much as within the informal sector. So yes, there's been a lot of volunteer work and people are rising. I would tell you that not necessarily the ordinary citizens, but even governments are working towards ensuring that volunteerism is one cross-cutting means of implementation that is appreciated across board. For example, in Kenya, we've worked on a national volunteerism policy which appreciates the effort made by individual volunteers as well as organizations. And even at the moment, we are working on a legislation that is going to anchor efforts that we want to make as a nation in the Constitution. So in Africa specifically, we have countries that have taken a lead step. For example, we have in Togo, we have in Sierra Leone, where they have a network there. Something is happening in Malawi. Something is initiated in Mozambique. We have volunteer initiatives in South Africa.
A 2017 Doing Good is Good for You study found that volunteering improves mood, lowers stress, and builds self-esteem. I would say so does travel. According to Go Overseas organization, more than half the number of people who volunteer abroad have also volunteered in their home country. But what is the value of volunteering? Can we measure its impact?
A baseline survey that was conducted, commissioned by the ministry, and the findings were up to almost 3.7% is what the volunteers or the volunteering efforts in Kenya are contributing to the GDP. So whether you want to look at it from the social sector, the political sector, the economic sector, volunteerism still fits in.
Volunteering or volunteerism, whatever your cup of tea is, I say, go out there and do some good this December. Happy holidays. For all matters travel, hit me up on Twitter @fmlemwa.